right, guys. So we're here. We're back with Josh, and yeah, we're here in Edmonton, and we're tuning a bunch of Z32s and a bunch of other stuff. So we've got Matt's 1989 right-hand drive JDM car. Matt's done a lovely job with this thing. Built motor, your typical Wiseco Eagle rod, bottom end, JWT 400 plus cams, and heads have been gone through. This has the CZP Gen 2 GTX 2860s, larger intercooler piping, and we just got done tuning it. It is running a Pro plugin, got Nismo 740 cc's. You can see we've got a radium fuel pressure regulator and fuel filter, and nothing too crazy. It's still running 2.5-inch downpipes, test pipes. It's got inlet piping, so a decent amount of the breather stuff. But this thing on the Canadian Shell 93 octane did super, super good. So this thing had been tuned previously by somebody else. Z32s, VGs isn't their forte, but let's take a look at the graph, and we can see that the blue is the before, and we're making pretty close to the same boost. We're a little bit lower here, and we're making a little bit more here in the peak areas. VTC was not enabled with the tune that this thing was on, so you can see how dramatic the difference is here, guys. So we were making 265 foot-pounds of torque right at 4,000, and now we're up to 333. So almost 70 foot-pounds of torque just by having the VTC function. So thankfully, the VTC check valves and all the solenoids and everything are working on this thing, but tremendous difference. This thing is going to feel so much better. So you can see just even with the same peak boost levels here, we're making way more power. So ignore that little glitch in the tack signal reading, but yeah, it's super, super good. So this thing will feel really nice, and take you inside. So yeah, so Haltech Platinum Pro plug-in, V2, and the right-hand drive little setup, clean car. So running a Grady catback on it. We're ready to go on the next Z32. And yes, I'm here in Canada and we pronounce Z as Z. So there you have it. I didn't get Mahesh's car on, but we'll talk about it. Totally forgot to start recording with that one. So this is the second one we've done, and we're gonna move on to our third. So we've made a couple of baseline pulls on Matt's, and we've got Matt and Matt working on this thing over here. And I suspect that
in the trunk, or
it's going lean because of the fuel pump controller. So we're in the middle of bypassing the fuel pump controller. We're just going to ground it.
Where do you want it?
Again, super common failure on the Z32s. And yeah, our air fuel ratio was essentially 13.0 to 1. It's been about 8 years since we last tuned this car. Matt wanted to check it, and it's a good idea, guys. This is why you want to check out, make sure the state of tune is good. You know, again, the tunes usually doesn't change on its own, right? It's going to change because of something mechanical, because of fueling, fuel pump, fuel system, whatever it is. So we're in the middle of doing the bypass, and we're going to run it, and we'll see if it richens up. So this is a 3-stage voltage controller. It probably is stuck on 8 volts, probably not on 6 volts, because it'd probably run a way, way leaner. So, but you can take a look. Matt's beautiful Z32 with the DZ track wheels. Beautiful car. It's got our intercooler piping, the breather mods on it, inlet piping as well. And then we'll do a follow-up on this. We'll see how it does once we get that controller bypassed. so here's the update. We bypassed the fuel pump controller and we were still not where we needed to be for our air fuel, so it didn't richen up enough. So we've pulled the pump out of it and we're now cleaning the tank. So it is important that when you have the assembly out, you clean it because you get that sediment that goes inside. So Matt's in there cleaning it all up. Both sides of the tank are getting cleaned up. So this one just simple hand wiping it, a little bit of elbow grease, and then we're also going to go ahead and replace the pump. So we'll just stick a Walbro 450 in this bad boy, and then we'll hit it back on the dyno with a recap of what's to come. All right, so we've wrapped up with Mahesh's beautiful platinum mist metallic. And if you guys haven't seen, for those of you who aren't from Canada, just what are the differences with the Canadian spec? So this is a 1990 model year, no steering wheel on the, sorry, no airbag. And it's so tough, guys, sorry with the lighting, but there's no airbag. So your typical steering wheel out of a 90, no airbag. And then of course you have your cluster in kilometers. So everything is in metric, kilograms, centimeters squared for your oil pressure and boost pressures. Just shows millimeters and vacuum there, inches of mercury. It's weird, millimeters of mercury, sorry. And then the other noticeable difference is that the lights will run all the time, daytime running lights. And then we have the windshield, or sorry, the nozzles for the headlights. So yeah, they'll shoot out and help clean your headlights from all the bugs out here in the summer. Some guys opt to remove them. But with Mahesh, this is his second Z32, stock turbo car, full breather mods, running on the Shell 93 octane. So it's got our inlet piping, intercooler piping, old versions of our intercoolers, stock turbos, Nismo 615cc injectors, our 4-bolt 3-inch downpipes, our high flow cats, running a JWT Genie catback on this bad boy. So here's where we ended up. This gas is really good. We were actually able to make 20 pounds of boost on this thing, and that got us 403 wheel and 408 torque. So not too shabby. And this one went pretty smooth. So we'll get ready to put on our next car. And then one thing I did forget to do is get Mahesh's first Z32 that he had. We dynoed that thing yesterday. So I'll have Mahesh talk about that one, and we'll talk about the power output on that one. So more to come. All right, so because we don't have the Specialty Z Walbro install kit, we have Josh welding up the factory fuel pressure relief valve so that we don't have this thing spitting out fuel when we're making a bunch of boost and fuel pressure. So remember that with our kit, you don't need to do this. Simple plug and play install makes it nice. So here we go. We'll get that welded up. We'll get the fuel pump installed, and then we'll get this car back on the dyno.
Like half a decade before we got the bid. So.
All right, guys. So check this out. This is a car that I've tuned before. It's Jeff's Lotus. It's a model year 2002, but it's based off of a 60s car, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a pretty cool little setup. It's got a Toyota motor. Jeff, remind me the motor.
Yeah, it's a 4AGE 16 valve, 1.6 liter.
4AGE.
Dual overhead cam. It's similar to what the Cosworth crossflows they would have put in the 60s. So it's got intake on one side, exhaust on the other, twin cam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. So Jeff's done a lot of cool stuff to this thing. One, and I think I've talked about this one just a long time ago in my stories, I don't know, a year or two ago when we first tuned it, but he repurposed the VR30 electronic wastegate actuator. So there you see it. For those of you in the Infinity world, the VR world, you recognize that. And it is working with an Arduino board, right?
Yeah, it's an Arduino with a custom software. It's picking up the pulse width signal that the Haltech thinks it's controlling a wastegate solenoid.
So that way, when we tune it through the Haltech, it's a simple 0 to 100% duty cycle, just like you would a normal setup. But in there, it's doing the math for the opening, the millimeter opening from 0 to 8 mil. And yeah, pretty cool little setup. So we're going to get this on the dyno. Jeff, what did we make for power last time?
I think it was 225-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so 225 wheel out of this bad thing is awesome. Really, really cool little car.
I've actually got the motor controller exposed right now in case there's any issues this year again.
Cool.
It's sitting above the gear shift there.
That's for the actuator, yeah?
Yeah, that's the controller.
Yeah, so and then Jeff has replaced the turbo. So the turbo is a T25, right? Like a 2554?
Yeah, 2554 is correct, yeah. This one has a billet wheel.
So it's a billet wheel on it, just enough. And then you got the ceramic coated, nice and shiny turbine housing. And you got a 5-bolt adapter flange, goes to a V-band for the downpipe. And then just straight right out to there, right off the side. You just got to make sure you don't burn your legs getting in and out of it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they say every owner is going to do that at least once.
Yep.
I haven't yet.
Sometimes you gotta
Other people have.
learn the hard way.
Yep.
So very cool little car. Let's see what she does with the little updates. So we've wrapped it up. This thing is making approximately about 50 more wheel than last time, and 270, almost 280 wheel out of this thing. 280 wheel, and I think they said this thing weighs about 1,500 pounds. So pretty badass. So the changes, of course, come from the turbo, and then we got a little bit more boost into it. Intake air temps, we're getting on the hot side. I'll get a shot of that intercooler. It's an air-to-water intercooler, and we are running a Haltech Elite 750 on this bad boy. And beautiful power band. I wish it would make a little bit more boost down low for response, but that's all she's got. Jeff is super happy. And we're gonna go for a little drive, right? Time to hit the open road in this thing.
Going for a test run?
Yep. So there's the intercooler. It's air to water, but it's just too small. Look how tiny that thing is. It's just probably, goodness, 4 inches tall. Yeah, it is really small. So it just can't pull the heat out, even though the fluid stays pretty cool in the reservoir, which is right over there. It's just not enough intercooler to pull the heat out of it. Really, really good. This thing's gonna be a riot on the street. And then we're gonna go ahead, now that the fuel pump has been replaced in mats, we're gonna go ahead and make some pulls on this, and we'll see what she does.
Too many hard pulls in Josh's neighborhood. Probably neighbors hate him enough as it.
That's a good time.
Yeah.
That feels so much fun.
Thank you so much, Seb. Holy crap. Okay, we need some space. I take it the verbal was either pops or nothing. I heard a little bit of it there. It's all probably at low RPM.
I'll show you what I did.
Okay. So you go. I was thinking of putting fuel in like one random cylinder on the way down at a time, kind of thing. But I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck with it until Seb's here. It's the same with the cold start thing. I'm like, you know what? I could bug Seb, we can go back and forth, or it's gonna be here in 4 months. I'll worry about it then.
All right, Jeff. So talk to us about the Arduino board and how it basically works with the Haltech setup and the Infinity wastegate actuator.
Yeah, so the Infinity wastegate actuator is a Bosch, and it is basically just a straight DC motor, and it's got a potentiometer for feedback, and it doesn't have any end stop, so it doesn't know when it's hit the end of travel. So when I key on, what it will do is it will gently push the motor all the way forward until it sees that it stopped moving, call that full, and it'll do it on the other direction as well. So you'll see the two LEDs there change to do that, and then once it starts running normally, what it's doing is it's listening to the wastegate duty cycle output from the Haltech, and it translates that duty cycle to the wastegate position. So if it's commanded 100% duty cycle, which means I want full boost, it will pull the motor all the way back and hold the wastegate closed. And one of the main advantages, it doesn't have a spring in it. So if it feels the wastegate getting pushed open by back pressure across the turbo, it'll actively pull it back and hold it closed. And it can pull about 50 pounds or so.
Wow, that is super cool. It's really cool what you can do with these Arduinos.
So that's initialized. There's a little LED up here you can see that's flashing. If it's just flashing an on and off heartbeat like that, that just means it's running properly and the firmware is up and running. If there's any error initializing, or if it can't position the motor where it wants to at any time while we're driving, it will flash an error code and that tells me what's gone wrong. And basically what's in this little box is a 5-volt power supply for the Arduino board, and then what this is an H-bit motor controller. So it basically can control the motor in one direction or the other with 4 transistors, and it's just basically got power and signals from the Haltech, and it's got the potentiometer sensor and the motor wires coming from the wastegate actuator, and it does have space for an extra H-bridge. I can run 2 of these for a twin on the same setup, and due to some fun with signaling, right now I don't have this on a connector. It's just kind of hardwired. Okay. It's supposed to be on a connector through here, and this right now is just loose. It bolts up to the dash under here where the Haltech is.
So very good. Very good. Cool. Well, thank you for that.
No worries.
Super badass, and yeah, the thing runs. All right, so we've just wrapped up with Dean's beautiful yellow 1990 Z32. Dean gave me a little bit of the story. It is a 1990, originally a non-turbo. Dean, you've had this car now for about 25 years? Amazing.
It was my first car. I bought it when I was 18 years old. Pretty much had it for 10 years, and then the NA motor died, and I just wanted more out of it. I couldn't let it go, so the wife actually supported me, and she found me a parts car. It was a Japanese right-hand drive car, written off due to water damage, and it had 90,000 K on it. I bought it for $1,200, drove it onto the trailer, pulled the motor out, I tore the motor down to the block, had the White Skull pistons, Eagle rods, pretty much had the heads worked on, Jim Wolf Sport 550 turbos, what else? Nismo 740cc injectors, 300 degree fuel rails.
It's got the oversized valves.
Yep, for 1 mil oversized valves.
And what does it have for exhaust, Dean?
So the exhaust is, was it MS Mike Smith's?
Exhaust manifolds, yep.
3-inch downpipes, 3-inch to 2.5 mid pipes, 2.5-inch H pipe, and then I did a custom axle back because I really wanted the GTR tips on it. So I fabricated all the piping and stuff myself and made it all work.
Yeah, so Dean's done a lot of this work himself. He had a buddy paint it, but Dean, you did the actual prep and bodywork, yeah?
So with that, it was pearl yellow to begin with. I wanted the J-spec bumper. Asked my buddy Pete if he could paint it or if he could match the paint, and he said no, it's 30-year-old faded paint. He's like, no, I can't do that. So then we pulled the motor again, and I pulled all the trim and everything off, and I'm like, hey, Pete, she's ready for paint. And he looked at me and said, oh, you got it sanded and prepped already? And I said, no. And he's like, well, I pay people to do that. I'm not doing that for you. So,
yeah, he's not doing the grunt work.
No. So it was about another year and a half of sanding. There was some door dings, stuff like that to get rid of. But
I mean, absolutely beautiful. So we'll take a little close look. But yeah, I mean, just look at these shock towers and the fenders. Just gorgeous job done by Dean and his painter. Beautiful attention to detail. And tell us about the paint. What is it? Like, what's the...
So I love the yellow on this car personally. I think they look the best in this color, but I needed a little more modern color. Giallo Orion. It's a Lamborghini yellow, and yeah, I fell in love with it.
It's gorgeous. It really is. Well, and it's nice. I mean, we can finally now, you know, you can go out and enjoy it, drive it. You and I have been working on this, God goodness, for how long? Getting the base tune and all the tech support questions. It's been a little bit, right?
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice. Guys, this is the great thing to actually come and see, especially in a different country, the cars, and you get to put a face to the name. And it's awesome to meet you. And the car is beautiful. It has definitely exceeded my expectations. You never know what to expect, right? And this one has blown me away. So beautiful job.
Thank you.
Putting it together. You can just tell it's been a good labor of love. So lots of time involved. It's worth it at the end of the day, yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So guys, yeah, Sport 550 turbos. You can see it still has the factory 2-inch intercooler piping plug there for the Specialty Z intercooler piping and all that. And, but, you know, I mean, what do we make? About 450 wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really good. So this one, base boost was about 8 or 9 pounds. Try to turn up the duty cycle a little bit more. So we'd only got 15, 16, maybe 17 pounds, somewhere in there. So it's got more in the tank. But I think this is going to be the first time you're going to be actually able to drive it, right? I mean, as far as full power and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's only got 300 kilometers on the motor.
Yeah.
It's been on a base tune.
So the last time you technically drove it, was it a non-turbo? Yeah. Amazing. Beautiful job, Dean. Haltech Platinum Pro plug-in, guys. Shell 93 octane, and a lot of Dean's hard work. So Dean, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you for all your help.
You're very welcome. Thank you. So we are at Jeff's house, and there's an Edmonton Z Car Club meeting going on. They have this meeting the first Thursday of every month, and we've got some really cool Z cars. Gurdeep's, it's going to go on the dyno tomorrow after we figured out all those ignition issues he's had. Really cool car. But take a look. Really cool setup. Take you through all the cars that are here. So Rob's convertible twin turbo running on the Yokohama ABSs. So this one today made 500 wheel on a set of modified JWT Sport 500s. Another red Z32 on StopTex. Not familiar with what this one has. I think this one we've tuned in the past. And then you've got this really badass, look at this S30. It's gorgeous. It's got an RB25. One of the members of the club, Mark. Beautiful car. We'll make our way up the driveway. Do we have Jason Kelly's twin turbo on StopTex? This one we tuned probably a few years back. Mark's 370Z NA. And then we've got 3 silver, 3 platinum mist metallic Z32s. And 2 of them are running the Yokohama ABS wheels on them. And these are low mileage. So Mahesh's was the first one. This one here. And then this is the other one. And then our third one. This one's really low miles. I think it's only got 50,000 kilometers on this one. So beautiful cars. You don't see this color too often. And this is on the non-turbo. 2+2.
Winter and summer, that's all you get. Yeah.
Heavy lifting. No, I mean, some of the blinds do get.
And then Dean's Z32 that we dynoed today. Beautiful, beautiful car. And check out this 280Z, this bad boy. Beautiful, absolutely perfect paint. I'm sure it's been repainted. Really cool hangout, great club. And then the 3 Z32s, red ones.
Oh, I wanted. Oh, it just clicked so good. Play with it.
Got baby Sarah.
Yeah, sometimes things go bang bang fast. Sometimes we get hung up, and we're down. So bring a chair. There's lots of standing around. Oh,
she's having a blast.
No electronics in mine, it's on springs.
All right, let's make our way over this way into Jeff's garage. This is Matt's beautiful Z32 that we dynoed the first day. And then on the lift, you have Jeff's 2012 GTR. This is a car we tuned, goodness, probably close to 10 years ago or more. Just your basic full bolt-on GTR without flex fuel. And then the Lotus that we got wrapped up with on the dyno today. And then this is Jeff's 350Z twin turbo running a GTM twin turbo kit, built motor. This one's on a Haltech. Probably we last tuned it 4 or 5 years ago. And memory is little fuzzy, but I think we made in the mid 5s, close to 6 with this one. Built motor, 2860s on it. So, but Jeff has a beautiful layout here. So work on all his cars, all his tools. You see he's well organized for the most part. And he's got a little bit of a workroom over here. Let's see what he's got going on.
So got a bunch of those, and I've got 3 columns right there by type, and these trees come back early.
Okay, if I drive on the right-hand side where I'm parked.
Oh,
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Beautiful view outside.
So we have the odd cow come and visit.
Really?
When they get loose, yeah.
You've had a cow come visit.
Several.
No kidding.
More than once we've had cows.
Yeah.
Wow,
We had a cow
that's cool.
literally by that wood pile, and right around the corner is our master bedroom window. So I pulled the blind up of the master bedroom window, and I'm 4 feet from the head of a cow.
No kidding.
No!
And whose cow is it?
We weren't sure. By the time we started calling around,
That's cool.
they had screwed off.
Not
The first
kidding.
group of cows were Texas Bighorns, and one of them was a bull, and he was probably 2,000 or 3,000 pounds, and his horns were like this for
Longhorns?
and he was just at the edge of the lawn over in the far corner.
No kidding. You must know it's oil country.
So, Marty, you probably
Wow,
can, but
that's
there's
cool.
a cistern over there, so I want to make sure you don't go too close to it.
So, but here you guys have it. Beautiful property. And it is 9:30 at night, and you wouldn't even know it. But the downside is in the winter, it's super cold, and it gets dark super early. But your summers are absolutely gorgeous here. At end of June, summer solstice, they're still light out past midnight.
So, I've got my material racking, which is good. So, with wood all over the damn place. No, that's very cool. And I've got some more racking.
So there you have it. Jeff's garage and the car club meeting for June 2025.
Actually, I saw a video.
Last but not least, let's go over to Matt's. So this one is the one we've been doing the fuel system fixes with, but absolutely gorgeous car. Beautiful color, beautifully done with the 350Z V1 track wheels. So look at that, polished lips, and the centers have been painted, and just gorgeous, super light wheels. These wheels look amazing on a Z32, I think, and they are super light. I think when I had weighed these, they are 17 pounds for an 18-inch wheel.
You're gonna off-road it?
Just drive on the grass, Marty.
All right, guys, signing off. We got one more day left. Dyno tuning. All right, guys, so I'm with the owner of this beautiful S30, Mark. Tell us about the car, as much as you know about it, and how long you've had it now.
Zeb, it's been a moment since I talked to you last, but I've had this car for nearly 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, just a little rusty when I found it, as they all are, but kept it blue.
And so tell us, what year is it?
This is a 77.
It's a 77, guys.
Yeah.
Look at it, and it's gorgeous. And you were just telling me the body kit that's on it, and you went to Japan, right?
Yeah, if you're familiar with the company, it's a small company in Osaka called Speedform. I visited their shop, made relations, made friends with those guys. They're treating me well. Ended up making a purchase there, brought it all back to Canada. As far as I know, it's still the only one in Canada.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and the color is absolutely amazing. And you were telling me it's a BMW color, yeah?
Yeah, this is a Yas Marina blue from the M3s, M4s. That's the blue that I set on, yeah.
And we can see now that the hood is opened up, it is an RB25.
That's right.
Yep, and it's peeking in there. Take a look. It is a Borg Warner 75, 76, or 74?
This is a stock RB25 with Borg Warner 7064 on it.
7064.
EFR.
Yeah, and you've been self-tuning it, yeah?
Yeah, dude.
That's
Try and
cool.
do my best I can, learning
Using,
as I go.
ECU Masters?
ECU Masters Classic, yeah.
Very cool. It's gorgeous.
Makes a great street car.
Yeah, so and it's been in this form 5 years?
This will be its 5th season on the road.
It's 5th season.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, guys. Look at that.
Yeah, put some miles on it.
And any idea what it makes for power?
I wouldn't have a number for you. It feels maybe around 350 horse, but I know I'm leaving a lot of room on the table there, and maybe I'll need your help someday. So
How much boost?
We're running about 12 to 15 pounds right now.
Okay, yeah, no, that's great for pup gas.
Yep.
And your Shell 93 is really good out here, so.
Yeah, we have good fuel.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, this thing is gorgeous. Anything else we should know about it? The hood. Let's talk about the hood, right?
Yeah.
The hood is the original hood, yeah?
Original hood.
And you had your buddy who cut it out.
Good friend of mine. He decided to build these vents, and then he added some some shadow lines in here. Just epoxy them into the original hood. Now they're just flush and smooth.
Yeah.
Got that shadow effect to it. Yeah, it's a bit of a hot rod effect there. So.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it came together. Like the vision you had for this thing really just came together.
Yeah.
And 16 by 10 inch wheels.
All around.
Square setup, guys. Look at that.
Yep.
I love how the
Those
polished
are
lips.
a work CR01.
Okay.
Yep. Classic wheel.
Gorgeous. Engine oil cooler in the front. Our front mount intercooler. Electric fan. Yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful. Thank you, Mark.
No problem.
Hopefully we'll see this one again in the future. All right, so we've wrapped up with Eric's 2013 370s. This one is running the Top Guns kit, and to control boost pressure, Eric fashioned up a tile wastegate and put it into the charge piping. So we'll go take a look at that. So here's where we ended up: 511 wheel and 393 foot-pounds of torque. It's running the returnless fuel system, so all it has is the drop-in fuel pump, and it's got larger injectors in it. So fuel did adequate. We had it making 8 pounds of boost. We swapped the spring out, put in the 11.2 spring in it, and so you can see it peaked at 11 and then it essentially held. You can see how it kind of holds, dropped off a little bit. So nice thing is he could add a boost solenoid to this and he could get this to go up a little bit more. But anyways, we've maximized the potential of this setup with ignition timing, so he's at essentially the limit where it's at, but he could continue to have more of a power band that continue to go up a little bit. But this is fantastic, good power. We'll take a look at the car. You can see it is the Top Guns kit. And this is what Eric's fashioned up with a tile MVF wastegate, 38 mil, just using the side port. Top port is vented to atmosphere, simple control, and just opens up. It makes too much boost pressure, or the boost pressure for the spring, and then you have some boost control there. So all you'd have to do is fashion up the standard boost control setup that we offer, and you can have it onto it. But great power. He's able to drive the car now and have fun with it. All right, so we've wrapped up with Matt's car. This is the one that had the fuel delivery issues. The boys replaced it, jumped on it, got the Walbro in there. I had the fuel pressure relief valve welded up, and here's where we ended up on this bad boy. 486 wheel and 453 foot-pounds of torque. Our air fuels are bitching now and good and safe. So Matt wasn't gonna put it on the dyno, but we did, and glad we did. It's been 8 years and we found the fuel pump delivery issues. So we got that addressed. But I've got with me Matt, and Matt, tell us a little bit about the car.
Yeah, so I've owned the car for 12 years now. Started off as a pretty stock basic, had jets in it and just a catback, I believe, at the time. Drove it for a couple of years like that and found a low compression on number 6, so decided to tear it down. Did Jim Wolf 530 turbos, full breather mods, 2.5-inch piping, Ash massive intercoolers, 2.5-inch inlets as well, Mike Smith manifold before they went NLA, 740 injectors, and Seb tuned the car about 8 years ago on our 94 up here, so we did 450 and 457 square, so real nice setup. But we decided this year that we're gonna just check it on the new Shell 93, which everybody's been running up here in Canada. So I tuned on that, and we made some nice gains today. So pretty happy with that and excited to go try it out. So yeah, I've owned the car for about 12 years now, and what drew me to it is the Midnight Blue Pearl, so one. It's a pretty rare color. Actually started out life as a black car, but previous owner had an NA in the blue, and he had a TT as well, so he wanted to make the TT blue because he just loved it, as do I. So a couple years ago I actually had it painted as well. I just refreshed it in that nice blue, so looking sharp and moving fast, so we're pretty happy.
Yeah, it's
with
beautiful, Matt. And another thing, just touching on it, you are the current president of the Edmonton Z Car Club.
That is correct.
So, and you guys are now part of a ZCCA. So
Correct.
congrats to you guys for
Thank you
that.
very much. Yep.
And again, thank you for having us. I love this car. And again, I've talked about the wheels, but can you tell us about the wheels, what you had done to them?
Absolutely. So these are 350Z track pack wheels. They're made by Volk Rays forged wheels factory on the 350Z. So when the 350Z came out in 2003, absolutely loved these wheels, kind of reminiscent of the TE37. So I had them refinished to simulate like a TE37 SL with the polished lip. And in the 350Z trim, they were actually a little bit more narrow. So I'm running the 8.5s up front, and they're actually custom widened in the back, 9.5s.
That's beautiful, yeah. And I see you've got the, looks like the R32 GTR brakes.
Yes, they are,
Yeah.
So those were added a long time ago, but it's a Stop Tech Sport kit on them as well. So
Yeah.
Stop Tech Sport pads and rotors. And
Gorgeous, yeah. The rear wheel fitment is perfect, and these wheels are super light. I think they're honestly even lighter than the TE37s
They
are.
actually are.
Yeah.
They're about 18 pounds when I weigh them.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
Awesome. All right, Matt, thank you.
Thank you guys. Pleasure to have you up here again.
All right, so we've wrapped up the 510, the CA powered 510, and here's where we ended up. So we peaked at 253 wheel and 210 foot-pounds of torque. Beautiful power, really good, nice power curve there. It's got a manual boost controller, so a little spiky. We got boost up to about 17 pounds on the 93 octane here. And we're gonna talk with Clint, the owner of this beautiful 510. All right, Clint, what do we have here, sir?
A 1970 Datsun 510, and then the 1.8 EA18 GT, the late 80s out of a 180SX from Japan, 650 injectors, GT 2860R turbo, and a Z32 nav. That's it.
Nice, and it's a stock bottom end, yeah?
Yeah, everything's stock internally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I see, tell us about this manifold. Pretty interesting looking
Yeah,
design. Tell us a little bit about that.
All function, no form. I wish it was prettier, but it's just the steering box and the master cylinder for the brakes. It limits it. Everyone in Australia does this swap, and all their stuff's on the other side, so I'm probably the only one with this problem, and out of necessity.
Yeah, so it's like you've got, your runners and then you got your collector, right?
Yeah, runners, like kind of a half log style with the runners, and then a J-pipe down, so it puts the turbo down where the power steering pump would be.
And what do we have for a turbo?
Garrett GT 2860. It would be the OEM replacement for RB 26 twin
Okay.
turbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we are running the N62 Z32 MAP with this bad boy, running Nistune, stock ECU.
And then NGK smart coils, Audi R8 style.
Yep, so
Yeah.
igniter.
Yeah, deleted igniter.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic job, sir.
Thanks.
And yeah, I can't wait to get you out on the road and go for a little test drive.
The other funny thing is, it's got a 390 open diff, a little R160, and I do have a clutch pack R160 370, and I just never put it in because it always hooks up.
Nice. Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've wrapped up with Gurdeep's 92 300ZX twin turbo. This one has been a battle, especially for G the last couple of years. Thankfully, we figured out what was going on with it, had a lot of help diagnosing, figured out it was bad wiring to the casts. So I have a photo that we'll post up, but this thing did really well. We've made as much as 789 wheel on Q16. Today we did, our 93 octane and E85, and on 93 it did super well. We ended up making 611 wheel on 93 octane. Super healthy numbers, good numbers for a VG. 600 foot-pounds of torque, and then on E85 we had it up to 725 wheel, 655. This is just running a single fuel pump. So G has got maybe a little bit of homework to do after summer, is just making sure that the wastegates on this thing are calibrated correctly. So I have a suspicion that the left and right aren't opening exactly the same. But nonetheless, he can drive it and enjoy it after a couple of years of scratching his head with ignition cuts. There you have it. So we'll introduce the man himself. This is, he's not new to the Z32. This is, what would you say, G? This is number which?
Build number 5, car number 12, 13.
You lose track after a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so, yeah, give us a little rundown on the 92. So
this car came to me in kind of a box in a trailer. It was a 92 CRP red rolling shell. No engine, no drivetrain, no interior, had a dash, no chassis harness. It took a while to track down, and it was supposed to be a budget build. And then it turned into, well, I got a good deal on turbos, and then I got a good deal on a Haltech. And then we kind of kept going. Made a ton of power 5 years ago on Q16. And then kind of in the spring, it had a weird issue, and the local Z Club and with Seb's help and the team especially, they've been chasing this issue for 5 years, and all hands on deck this week, and super excited. Made a couple mod changes, did the specialty Z side mount intercoolers from the Ash, did a little bit of heat coating on the downpipes and the turbo housings and the intake. And today was super fun for Shell 93 to make 611 and 600 on pump is going to be an absolute riot.
Yeah.
Very excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, and like you said, this one snowballed because, how's everything? Oh, we might as well do that while we get in there, right? And let's pull it apart and let's do this, let's do that. But, fantastic. We're going to get G's yellow in, and we'll see what that does. That's the one where we had to pull the assembly out. We didn't get this on the shoot, but a twin pump assembly somebody had done, and the submersible hose was damaged, so it had an internal leak. So we had to pull that thing off, but that's fixed. We're going to get this thing on now and pull this one off. And G, thank you. And I'm glad we could get it rocking and rolling again.
This is a long time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So we're getting ready to do our final pass, and so far we've made 815 wheel, a little bit of slip on the dyno roller. We're gonna get a couple of guys to sit in the hatch, put a little bit more weight, let it cool down a little bit. It made 815 with a few hot passes on it. But check this out, you spend all this money, guys, that I'm giving for deep shit. You spend all this money and you're still running a 30-year-old radiator cap. Well, here we go. Final pass. Glory pull. See what she's got. See if we can crack 815 wheel. A little bit too much weight. Slip, what do we get? 825. And that's on our high five, making 753 foot-pounds. 825 wheel, but yeah, you can see a little bit of slip there. Looks good. Boost is nice. Some good power out of this bad boy. All right, so we've wrapped it up. There were issues with G's both cars, but everybody came together and made it happen. G, this was a non-turbo originally, right?
Yep.
You bought it from Kent.
Yep.
And Kent essentially kind of got burnt out with the project, didn't do what he wanted to, and then you took over.
Yeah, very lucky. Clint has been helping, and we found some wastegates, did some...
It was just minor stuff that wasn't done correctly, right? Just oversight, simple oversight stuff like not setting the wastegate. So Kent originally was trying to make a bunch of boosts with this thing and it couldn't. And then G and team found that one wastegate was not even, it was not working correctly, right? It was like 8 PSI or boost or something. Yeah. And so they pulled the motor out, right? You pull the motor out of this thing to fix that because, you know, it's tough to work on a VG30, and got that all dialed in. This has crane cams, which Australian crane cams, which I've never heard of. It's the first time.
They said they were like a Jim Wolf 500-ish profile.
Okay.
They were kind of like, let's see what they can do. They were a very similar grind, but not quite the same.
And let's talk about the bottom end. It has CP and Carrillo, so the Gucci, nice stuff in there. A compression ratio.
Should be stock, yeah.
8.5 to 1, okay. And yep.
And did have custom 3-inch inlets built for it with an inlet. So
okay.
In theory, breathe a little easier.
Sure. Dual pumps. Yeah, and we fixed that. We got all that dialed in. So it wasn't grounded correctly. The submersible hose was split, and after that stuff was fixed, I'm surprised the car even ran with the, you know, poor grounding that it had at the top hat. But that's all working, and we actually found that it was running way richer, so which is a great relief, easy to pull fuel out of it. And yeah, no, totally badass, and it's beautiful. Again, another beautiful yellow. Dean's from yesterday was more of like a gold color, but this is stunning. How much of it's been repainted?
The fenders, the hood, and the bumpers, just the front clip. And then we blended the rest of the kit on the sides. Obviously, it's powder painted. It's all original paint. I'm in the auto body business, so we did a really good job.
It's beautiful, yeah, and I love the spoiler that's on it too. So. And
one of 12 pearl glow yellow slick tops came to North America.
Yep.
So pretty cool.
Yeah, the wheels, everything works super, super well with it. It's gorgeous. So yeah, 825 wheel is what this bad boy did, and 750 torque, running a Haltech Elite 2500, and this was on E85, guys. Okay, so on 93 we made mid 550s.
Yeah.
Ended up, I think we made it there. We just couldn't make a little bit more. It tickled. Unlike his red car, we were able to actually crack 600. You know, every car is different. So remember, it's not cookie cutter. You can't just say, hey, just because this one did that doesn't mean that the other one's going to do that. There's so many differences, right? The deck on the heads, on the block, the cam timing, so many things play such a crucial role in all of this. But this one did super well. All right, G, thank you. You can enjoy the summer. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so as you can see, that's a wrap to Canada, specifically Edmonton 2025. Just want to thank everybody up there, specifically Rob Goodell, Matt and Amanda. Jeff, thanks for having us over at your house, the club, and you know, specifically Greg and I. We always have an amazing time. You guys always have us with open arms, and one of the reasons why we go to Canada every year. We love it. We love being part of it, and we're thankful that you continue to have us. So that's a wrap with that. We'll do it again next year. We've been doing the Canada thing. We started going to Vancouver back in 2007, 2008, right around there with the two mics. They had us over there up in BC, and you know, I've made a trip to Kelowna, to Calgary, Edmonton, and yeah, it's, man, goodness. So 17 years we've been going there, and we only stopped because of COVID. So it's a good year or two that we didn't go because of that. But yeah, thanks again, and thanks for watching. I know it was a long video, guys. Hit the like, subscribe, and you get to see what we do. Thank you.